everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to Ron's World. Yes, welcome back to my channel. In this video here, I will be doing performance tests with my computers that I built over the past 5 years. They still going strong. I made a couple of changes out. I took basically a lot of changes has been made, especially with this my gaming system there right there, as you see. The motherboard died on me. I brought it used. It was the socket 1155. I was on the i7 3770, and I loved that processor. The motherboard died on me because the BIOS kicked out, and the thing here that hurted me the most because I wanted to have one system on AMD, one system on Intel, really two systems on AMD and two systems on Intel. Recently, I had upgraded my grandson's PC, which, like always, I be putting all my builds in the description below. So if you want to watch them, that'd be great. I love y'all watching them, the support, the love, and everything that comes in with it. So all systems in my house are on AMD. Just like I explained yesterday in my Vlogtober, that I switched to AMD because of the budget-friendly cost that is now going on since they upgraded to the AM5 platform, and they on the AM5 brackets, the 7000, the 8000, as well as the 9000 series. The AM4 platform from the 1000 to the 5000 has went down. Now, the systems are, y'all probably asking, the systems are, my editing rig is on the Ryzen 7 2700X, 36 megahertz of RAM at 32 gigabyte. GPU is the Soyo Group RX 580 8 gigabyte 2048 SP. That is a GPU that is on GDDR5 memory. If y'all don't know, when GDDR5 memory came out for GPUs, they came out in 2007. That is about 2 decades old right there. So you're looking at what we're in 2025. So about 18 years out on the market. So overseas companies decided to bring them out, and they had the PCB of AMD where all the circuitry goes. So they did the printout, and it's been working great for me since then. My gaming rig is on the Ryzen 5 3600, 6 cores, 12 threads. RAM is the Team Group Zeus, which I upgraded from my editing when I brought the Corsair LPX 36 megahertz sticks. I switched those up top. The RAM speed of my gaming rig of the RAM is 3200 megahertz at 32 gigabyte. My grandson's PC, which is room for upgrade, so I'm not worrying about that later on down the line. Might surprise him maybe when he turns a teenager. I might just go ahead and put him on the Intel Arc, 6 gig or 8 gig. I'm looking at 8 gigabyte, or I might just buy the 8 gigabyte for myself and just give him the either the Elsa or the Soyo Dragon. Most likely I'll be using the Intel Arc for gaming purposes. So yeah, it might be up in here, but since my grandson is my grandson, I love him to death, I might just go ahead and give him that. Now the motherboard he is on is the ASRock 8320 HDV version 4.0. He is on the Ryzen 5 1400, which is 4 cores, 8 threads. He loved it. He played his little 7-year-old games, 8-year-old games on it. That's what a system's supposed to do. Now, as a grandfather, I do watch what he plays. I don't allow him to play no Call of Duty. I don't mind him playing Call of Duty, but I had to switch out everything to the max because Call of Duty is CPU and GPU intense. So it requires a lot for both ends to work together. So if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to have to either put him on the Intel motherboard of his choice, or he can stay with AMD of his choice. Now, the motherboard is up for upgrades. So I could go ahead and probably push him to the 5000 series since he's on the AM4 platform. I could push him to 5000 series. It could be the 5700X, 8 cores, 16 threads, at 105 thermal design power, or I could just switch out everything and just put him on something new at his age frame. Because if you look at it now, 20 something years from now, he'll be 20 something years old. And we know we're going to have more motherboards that's going to be coming out from AMD as well as Intel. So we are on the 800 series on both of them, and AMD is on the 600 series, and on the Intel you got the 7s and the 6 and the 5s and the 4. So whatever he like to use, that'll be his choice. If I put him on the 500 series on Intel, it's gonna be, I can take that Intel Arc and just switch it on over to the new board. Because like I said, Intel came a long way with their GPU, and I like their GPU because a lot of people didn't understand it when it came out. They had complications. Just keep in mind, every GPU that comes out have complications, just like NVIDIA. I stopped buying NVIDIA GPUs because they take half of the die from the GPU current and make another GPU. Gamers been falling for that. So if y'all been falling for that, NVIDIA said, hey, I've been giving it to you, so why y'all complaining? So I'm going to go ahead on to something new, maybe an Intel Arc for him, or I might just go AMD with the 6000, 7000 series of his choice. Or he might want to go ahead on to the high-end stuff that's going to be out at his age frame when he turns 21. So, and my entertainment rig is on the Ryzen 3 4100, 16 gigabyte of RAM at 32 megahertz of speed, 4 cores, 8 threads, and for my entertainment rig, the GPU into that there is a Quadro 4000, 2 gigabyte. Just like I said, I'm on my Scepter 55-inch 4K television, but it's been doing great things for me as I sit down here watching my Hulu and Netflix and just be chill vibing with my wife and my grandson in the living room, watching movies, kid movies, watching some content on YouTube, etc. So yeah, I'll be doing those tests on those PCs I just mentioned, and I'll go ahead and give you my final outtake as you heard me in this segment here that I might be upgrading. I'm gonna keep the entertainment on the 4000 series. I pretty much like that there. I can see my grandson on the 4000 series, and once I put the 4000 processor in there for him, it's automatically going to upgrade to Windows 11. But y'all keep in mind, by towards the end of the year, early sometime next year in 2026, the Q1 and Q2, Windows 12 is coming out. And yes, Microsoft, I'm talking bad about you. Y'all suck. We still use your operating systems, but the thing here is 90% of us don't upgrade our system. Some of us still on Windows XP. Some of us still using Windows Vista. Some of us still using Windows 7. So as we know, on Windows 10 came to the end of license, but y'all offering security updates by payment form. If you are on a strong virus protection that you are using, you're fine. You don't have to worry about the security updates. If you use a OBIT drive booster, which update the system board drivers, you're fine. If you want to use the Pro series, which a lot of people own, updating up everything, gaming wise, etc., etc., you're fine. So the security update is just for malware protection and all the other nonsense that if you don't want to use it, because a lot of gamers in today's market, today's current year form, do not use any security virus fund. They just feel free to run a system free at hands. And whatever happens to it, happens to it. 90% of today's current users overclock their systems. Your systems is already done, which we already know that. So, are we doing those tests, going over the scores using Geekbench, Cinebench 2024, not R23. 2024 with Cinebench 2024, it gives you core component performance. So I'm not worried about a high score. I love Cinebench 2024. It is more realistic than R23 because everybody say, "Oh, I got 17,850. Oh, my system better than yours." No. Cinebench, when they came out with 2024, they said let's be more realistic and let's go ahead on and just focus on the core components in rendering. We all know AMD says it's supposed to be an IPC uplift boost. It's not. Intel handles everything such as rendering form. This is why about half the nations went to Intel. And you got some mediocre content creators can't decide whether to use Intel or use AMD. They just put out content just to put out content just to make their fan base happy. I have a support base. They just want to hear good supportive information, why I'm doing it, what are you going to do later on down the line with your systems, and etc. I'll be telling y'all that in my final thoughts of my system performance of the year. Every year I run these tests. Every year I make sure my systems are good. I clean them off. And what I'm going to be doing next year is I'm going to go ahead and clean all 4 systems. And my videos, my clean videos, I got to see what season I left off. And that's it. So I'll be coming to the final, and I can't wait to give y'all the numbers and the results and what I think. Is there any room in the future for upgrades? I know my grandson might want the latest gear. I'm fine with mine. So just like I said, if I do upgrade, it might be the 4000 series. I'm looking for the 4000 series CPUs. So if anybody on the AMD team, you watch this video, give me a call. Or matter of fact, we could do a Zoom, we could do a collab, whatever. Reach out to me to see if y'all have the Ryzen 7 4000 series. Because that's why I might want to upgrade both my systems on the 4000 series, 8 core, 16 threads. I know the frequency base is going to go ahead on the be at 3.8, 3.9 with the boost, maybe 4.2 or 4.5. It don't matter. The stronger, the better, and I will be happy. So I will come to the final and let you know how I feel about my systems. And I am, just like I said, I am on the AM4 platform, and there will be no more upgrades for me. Only CPU wise and GPU wise. That's it. All right. I'll be back with you with the final thoughts. Peace. All right, everybody, how you doing? And welcome back. All the tests is done, and I'm happy with the numbers from NeuroScore, Geekbench, Heavy Overloads, where I had to do the CPU cooler test. CPU coolers are fine. All 4 systems are fine. My graphics systems, my entertainment, my gaming rig, as well as my editing rig. Perfect. One thing I like the most about Cinebench 2024 than Cinebench R23. R23 is for rendering time. How fast can your system render that photo in the time is given? In 2024, it used the IPC performance. If you're on the Intel processor, if you're on the Apple M1 desktop processor, or if you are on AMD processors, everybody know that the IPC performance of the CPU structures sends out codes to the applications, etc., to the GPU to start doing what you need to do to get the job done. That's what Cinebench 2024 is. It is a system that sends out the performance from your core components. How good is your core components in IPC modes? When it's time to start using your applications such as editing, rendering, photography, etc. That's all. And Cinebench 2024 is good. I love it, and I will be using that more often to go ahead and give me a nice, good, decent score in rendering projects. Sorry for the word product, rendering projects, because I do a lot of editing, no basic editing. I don't do no heavy overload editing. I don't work for no advertisement agency, anything like that. I go ahead and do basic work. And it shows. I got 665 subscribers on my main. My gaming is just for me to play my retro games. I got about like 15 subscribers. And on my sports, it's about 10. Yes, I blamed all three. Now, a lot of people do DraftKings, etc., but I'm not into that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about system testing. All my systems are fine. My entertainment rate is just set up for what it needs to do. The core components on that is the Ryzen 3 4100, 4 cores, 8 threads, with the Quadro 4000, 2 GB. Basic 1080p watching. I know we upgraded to 4K. I do not like how 4K looks. It makes a lot of people look bad in some of these sitcom shows. It looks good in movies, especially if you're using I can't think of that name of that software a lot of people use for that. It's by Black Magic. I can't even think of the name of it, and that's sad. But if you know what I'm talking about, say Black Magic, and they use that a lot, and a lot of people want to get into filmography. Like I said, I like making videos, but I have not upgraded my equipment to handle the filmography in 4K. Everything I do is in 1080p, and my system is good. Now, upgrade-wise, it is room for upgrades for all 4 of my systems, from my grandsons to the entertainment to my gaming to my editing. I could upgrade to the 5000 series CPUs, and I could push every CPU to the Intel Arc. Y'all heard me? Intel Arc. I know the hardware, I know the structure of that GPU. 120 hertz refresh rate. I'm on 60 hertz televisions and monitors. I'm now on 280 hertz refresh rate monitors nor TVs. So when it comes down to understanding hardware, I understand it well, and I understand how I'm using it. So that's why there's no issues with me with the hardware I'm using and the performance with it. Now, just like I said, Intel Arc, that's where I'm going. If Intel hear this, I know somebody from Intel watching. You know, Mr. Cleanskull, you do great. You talk good things about Intel, because I've been using Intel way back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I went ahead on and I used a Pentium from Intel on the socket 370 and the socket 478. And then I went ahead on and used the LGA 775. I love them. I love the LGA 775 because it was basically made out for Windows 7. And I was still using Windows XP still at the same time. So I love the Windows 7. I love the Windows XP. Not an issue. Just like I said, it is room for upgrade. If I want to upgrade to the 5000 series CPUs, the Ryzen 5 3600, if I do upgrade, I can get that to my grandson, and his computer will be able to update to Windows 11, which I hate the most. The reason why I said that there with Microsoft, because I've been having issues with that system reboots based upon COM errors. I get an event ID 6 sometimes. It is mostly communication errors from their server to my PC. And reboot time, especially rendering a video to post up on YouTube, irritates me. Windows 10 is good. I might just downgrade all my systems back to Windows 10, but that means I have to reset everything on the hard drive, reload my games back up, and it's annoying. So I'm gonna say this. I said in the beginning, in Q2 or Q3, Windows 12 will be making its way out. Why? I don't know. Because I guess a lot of people want more from Microsoft. They said they could do better. They did better with Windows 10. They say no more, but Enterprise say y'all owe us a couple more operating systems. So Windows 12 hopefully might be the last one. And hopefully it is good where y'all can go ahead and have us set the taskbar where we want to set it. In Windows 11, you can't move it. Some people manage to hack into their systems, hackers, and remodify their folders. I don't like remodificating my folders. And I had bad experience doing it. They're deleting out the wrong folder, and I'm not getting no post boot. I had to re-download the information all over again. And I got to call Microsoft and say, hey, I had deleted out the wrong folder, trying to experiment, deleted out the wrong folder. The customer service reps laugh. It happens all the time, Ron. I know. But system-wise, they're great. They perform very well. And Geekbench, my grandson's systems, is on point. His system outbeat mine, and he is on the GTX 1060 3GB. And Geekbench, my system is in multi-core. My system is up there because I know what type processor I'm on. I know what type processor he's on in the room. He's on the 4-core 8-thread Ryzen 5 1400. I'm on the Ryzen 7 2700X and the Ryzen 5 3600. Just like I said, when it comes time to upgrade, I want to say maybe for me to upgrade my two systems, I might just be pushing both of them with the Ryzen 9 5900 on both gaming and editing with the Inter-Aux. And my grandson is going to be on the Ryzen 5 3600, or I might, y'all hear me loud and clear, give him the 5800 just for basic gaming. Because I know by the time he turns to a teenager, he want to do a little more with the system. So I might just give him the Ryzen 5 3600 and just put him on the GTX 1660 Super. Great 1080p gaming GPU. Y'all keep that in mind. Great 1080p. And y'all hear and I understand the hardware, and I researched all the information on that GPU. Monitors in this room, he's on 224 TV monitors, 60 hertz. The GTX 1660 Super handles 1080p Ultra, which is close to 120 to 144 refresh rate. So on the monitors. GPU can handle up to 144 refresh rate. So it's like I'm telling a lot of newcomers that's coming in building systems, research your hardware before you build. Even though I'm a good tech enthusiast, I like to go ahead and help people maintain the hardware they have now. Not the latest hardware, not the Z800s, the B800s, etc., the B600 series, the Z700s and 600s, not those. People are still on old motherboards such as LGA 1150, LGA 775. I'm the man here to help you with that. And this is why I keep my systems performing great. I cleanse them every 6 months to a year, because when all that dust starts kicking up, they do a thing called dust rot components, which is component dust rot. And then the components start falling off. I gotta take the motherboard out and have them. We put in new transistors, capacitors, stuff that whatever fell off, I had to have to send that out for them to fix. That's why I take care of my systems. And you can see my systems don't break that much dust, because once I start seeing dust on it, it looks nasty and it looks filthy. So cut this video short. I love all of you. Thank y'all for watching and everything. Systems are fine. And maybe 2026, towards the end, early 2027, I might be making those upgrades, getting the Ryzen 5000 series as well as the Intel Arc. I might go with the B570s for both of my systems. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my 8GB to 10. I could give my grandson these GPUs. I might sell them. They still in good use. I paid 50 for them. I'm gonna have to put them on the the blue book, bring it down by 25%. So if it's 50, you probably looking at $25, $30 for those GPUs in good condition, not overclocked. I don't believe in overclocking my parts. It's an auto, so if I need that push, it's gonna kick it. My motherboard is on a 4-pin CPU connects, all 4 of them. I've been using those motherboards in the late 80s, late 90s, early 2000s when I built my system. That's why I'm so comfortable with a 4-pin CPU, 95 watt pull to 105 watt pull push. That's why I choose the power supplies by going to the manufacturers. Apeva. I said, okay, I never heard of people. Let me read about them. They've been around for a long, long time. The thing is, you gotta understand their power supplies before buying it. That's it. If you're on the old system that don't require that much power, then Apeva is for you. If you're on the new latest hardware, you gotta go to the new latest hardware power supplies, which are overclocking protection. Because 90% of y'all out there now are blowing your systems out by pulling too much power into the motherboard, to the CPU, as well as the GPU. Everything fried. And we're looking at about good $1,500 to $1,800 worth of hardware to $2,500 worth of hardware, because y'all body said a nice, good, fancy motherboard is about $700 to $1,000 fried. So, in this video, I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Systems were fine, and I will see you in my next system performance. Peace.